Hey guys, Chris here with a video all about intensity palettes. We're going to walk through what they are and why we use them. So, I'm going to show you what intensity palettes do and how to adjust them. So, intensity palettes at your campus are specific to you. That's one of the things we deselected when we were merging. And basically, this refers to the front light that lights up the front line of the band. So, that'll be your worship leader, any accompanying musicians and or singers at the front of the stage, and those are front-facing lights to ensure that the audience can see them and see their faces. And so this obviously varies depending on the campus and how your location is set up. You're going to have different intensities, but you are always going to have the same intensity palettes. And so that is something else that is also listed on your top sheet. So if we scroll down here and we go to intensity palette, while this doesn't have intensities, the actual numbers of the value, it does give you an overview of exactly what they're used for. So IP1 is a solo look, so it's used for highlighting the singer or the worship leader for a solo. This is an important one. Whoever is leading the song should be lit up with IP1. And then IP2 is a background vocal look for someone who is up front, but not necessarily singing the song and leading that song. They might be singing background vocals, or they might be playing a guitar or something like that. IP3 is what we call a ghost look. This is we also call this a glow look, but it's a much smaller intensity palette. And this is great for really quiet moments that maybe there's only one person singing and the whole song is a little bit more chill at that particular moment. The ghost look, or IP3, is really great for, we just want to make sure that people know that there are other people on the stage, but we want to shift everyone's focus away from those people and onto whoever's leading that particular moment vocally. IP4 is a really bright wash look, and so this, you wouldn't ever use this for your worship set. This is specifically for announcements, for VNO, for, like this says, any event that has many people on stage that are not the band. So IP4 is a classic VNO look. IP5, you can see, is 0. That is a blackout look. Those are super helpful, and while we don't use them very often during songs, you can potentially use those for a really specific purpose and creative purpose. So those are the different intensity palettes. I'm going to pull this away here. On your magic sheet right over here, you can see that you have IP1, IP2, IP3, 4, and 5. All of those are listed, and those are buttons that you can physically change your fixtures with. So what we want to do once we merge our show is we want to set the appropriate intensity palettes. So I'm actually going to change this look here a little bit. I'm going to go to a different view here. I'm going to go to channels, and this is rig B. And so this particular rig B location, there are 3 front light fixtures. Right now it's at blackout. But if I go to the next cue, there we go. This is the first actual song cue. You can see that there are some intensity palettes set. So leader refers to your worship leader look, so that is IP1. O&A, or what we used to call VNO, is the 60% look at this particular location, and that is your IP5, or I'm sorry, your IP4. And then you can see that there's another leader one. So in order to change these, we're going to want to do that for all of the songs. So I'm going to bring back my text script here. So on this particular week, I'm going to scroll down. So 1 through 3 are not song lyrics, song moments. This was a very different week, but normally this would be a song. So I'm going to go down to the first one for the song. So start of song is Q4. So I'm going to go to the next cue because I'm on Q3 currently. And so now we are on Q4. So again, Q4 is the start of the song, and so this is what we are resourced with. Right now this is on Glow, which, if you remember, is IP3. That is not suitable for someone leading a song, so we're going to change that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate where the person is on stage that is leading that song. So for instance, if that person is in the middle of the stage, then most likely the fixture that is going to light them in particular is number 2. And so it's super easy to change intensity palettes. I'm going to go, after I've selected, I'm going to go over here and select the one that I want. So I'm going to go to leader, and you can see that it manually selected that one. And then maybe I'm going to go to 1 and 3, which are background singers or a guitarist or something. And then this is a pretty high intensity song. So instead of glow, I'm going to change those to a background vocalist look. So that is IP2. So now we have BGV and leader. Those are the abbreviations that we're using for those. And then now we want to save our work. So just like when you're adjusting any other fixture, we're going to select those. And on your console there, you're going to hit update, enter. And so now you can see that those turned green, indicating that you've now actually saved those changes. Another easier way of doing that, this is even quicker than what I just showed you. I have those all selected. There is a button here for update and enter. So that's all I need to do is hit that one time and those change to green. So we have Q4 ready to go. But if I go to Q5, you'll notice that this is in the same song. It's in the same section of that song. But you can see that that did not apply here. So what we're going to do, instead of going in individually and adjusting all of these for probably 50 cues, we're going to check out a quicker way to do that. So I'm going to go to my text script here. I'm going to take note. So Q5 is the first intro and the energy building, and then 6 is when they're actually starting to sing. So we're going to want to make sure that we have light on them for that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and look what the last cue that I need front light for is for that particular song. So you can see that Q20 is the end, but the outro itself is cued on the very last word. So really, for 19 and 20, we don't need front light necessarily, certainly not lighting up the leader. So we're going to go to Q18. So what we've determined is Q4 through Q18 are the cues for that particular show. So what we can do is, I've already changed that Q4, so I'm going to go back to that. And so instead of doing it manually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to select these parameters here, and then I'm going to open this back up. And I'm going to say copy 2, which is right here. I'm going to specify that I'm going to copy 2 cues. And then we already changed 4, so I'm going to go 5. And then I'm going to do through 18. So what this command bar is saying is those 3 channels, the things that we just did, all the parameters that are in that right now, we're going to copy those to cues 5 through 18. Now, if I wanted to do 5 and 18, just those 2, instead of through, I would hit the plus button, which basically means and in your command bar. So now that I've selected those, I can hit enter. And now I'm going to hit update enter to save my work. And again, you can hit this one to do update enter. But now if I go through to the other cues, so 5, 6, 7, 8, all of those have been changed to match that Q4. So I'm going to go back to Q4 here, which is great. That just knocked out an entire song's worth of intensity palettes. Now, here's one thing that is really good to start thinking through as you get more familiar with this. Maybe your first couple weeks as you get used to it and you remember those steps. Maybe that's what you just do for the entire song. You just have one consistent look throughout as long as one person is leading. But as you get more advanced and you can start crafting what the lights look like on stage, I'm going to show you what we can do now. So I've taken the entirety of This Is Our God, and I've changed the intensity palettes to light up the leader the most, and then the background vocalists or a guitarist or whatever on the sides a little bit less than that. But sometimes in these songs, there are spots where you don't necessarily need all sorts of light. So let's just go down to the bridge. And so this is the bridge here. You can see there's bridge 1 that we do twice, and then bridge 2. So what we're going to do is maybe we want a more focused look for this bridge. Maybe this bridge dynamically drops down musically and is more of a quieter moment, and then we do that twice, and then we build into maybe a bigger moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what the first cue is. That's 16 of the bridge, and we're going to pretend that this bridge is a down bridge. It's quieter. There's less happening musically. It's just that person. We want to suck people into that moment and make it feel immersive and focus on that leader so they know who is leading that moment. So what I can do is I'm going to open up my keyboard here. I'm going to go to Q16. And then I'm going to find my text script, wherever that may be. There we go. Grab that. So Q16 is our bridge. I'm going to change that to focus the lighting a little bit more onto that leader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the leader alone because we want them fully lit. But I'm going to take 1 and 2, and I'm going to drop them down to glow, to IP3. And so the idea being that in that moment, as musically it comes down in dynamics, it's also going to follow that with a light. And so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to hit Update Enter. And what's nice is that that is just for this cue. So then when I pull up the text script again, they're going to do that for 2 times. And then maybe this second bridge, they pick up a bunch. And then we can go back to that the regular cue that we've built before. So this is your cue for the first time going through the bridge, second time through the bridge, and then we're going to build up musically and then go to the next one. Now we have IP2 on 1 and 3, and that's going to follow the song in intensity as well. So that is just an example of ways that we can manipulate intensity palettes to really fit the feel of the song and really bring people into those moments so they know who they are following and help them sing. So that is something that as you get more comfortable with intensity palettes, I'd encourage you to do because that just takes the show from a 90 to a 95. And so that is an easy way to do that, which has been made a lot easier with this magic sheet. So hopefully you have a better understanding of what intensity palettes are, how we use them, and how to actually edit them. As always, if you want to learn a little bit more about lighting, please feel free to check out some of the other videos on the channel or reach out to one of your regional techs, and I will see you in the next one.